All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to part 2 of our paint series here. We've kind of left off where we finished part 1. So if you did not see part 1 or you're curious kind of where we're picking up at, you're welcome to click on the first part video. Again, this is our car. This is what we're working with. We are going to make some changes here. We are going to matte that black and we are going to make that gold chrome color here. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to go back into our Photoshop file that we have. Again, same thing that we have been working with. And we are going to work, we'll close this out. We're going to work with this spec map folder. Now, couple things about the spec map folder. I'm going to go ahead and actually move this color change logo thing to the chrome logos. Perfect, that's what we want. Couple things about the spec map folder. So this is a video that I've actually been wanting to make for a while. When I first started painting cars in iRacing, I wanted to know how to do this, and I couldn't figure out a video that really explained it to a novice or a beginner on Photoshop, kind of like I was. There were some people that explained it really quickly and explained it kind of at a high level, but I really need it dumbed down. So hopefully I'm able to do that for you and make it a little easier and point out some things that I did and some things that freaked me out a little bit, and make it smooth and make it so you can do it, because you can do it. This is not something, I know everybody says it's not hard once you figure it out, but truly once you kind of see this and it kind of clicks a little bit, it makes a lot more sense, and it's not nearly as tough. So first thing we're going to do, we created all these folders in part 1. Now the reason that we created these folders is we were kind of thinking ahead to us doing the spec mapping. Now it can be a little bit intimidating, I guess, once you get into this and once you kind of start spec mapping. The colors will change a little bit and you'll be like, what is going on? But it will all make sense, I promise. First thing we're going to do is we are going to take these folders. We're going to go ahead and click them all at the same time. We're going to do duplicate layers. Yes. And then we're going to do the same thing again. Duplicate layers. Yes. Okay. So you're basically going to have 3 copies of each of those folders. And what I do, you do not have to do this if you don't want. But what I do is I will go through and I will actually make all of these RGB, and I will show you why we're doing RGB in a second. But it's going to make it a little bit easier for me anyway in a second. So there's all our R's. So now we're on our second one. So we're going to do G here. We'll get to our third, and we'll do B. All right, so we've got everything we need. What we're going to do is we're going to take all our R, all our G, and all our B folders, and we are going to control click so they're all highlighted. And we're going to take, and we're literally just going to drag them up to the top, and you see where it says custom spec map here. We are going to drop them in there. Okay, so we are now done with this blue layer. We don't need it anymore. We are only going to play around in this green layer. When you click the eyeball there, notice some stuff changes colors, right? Don't freak out. It's okay. If you unclick it, this is what your paint looks like. Okay, so do not freak out. What we are doing when we spec map, and the way that I'd heard it explained that made the most sense to me, is this is how we want our car to look, right? This is what we want it to look like. This is the layout we want it to look like. This is kind of what we're going for. Okay, when we are doing the spec mapping, we are telling the game, this gold right here, this is how we want the gold to look. Do we want it to be a pearl? Do we want it to be a matte? Do we want it to be flat? Do we want it to be chrome? Do we want it to be metallic? What do we want this gold to look like? And that's what we're doing in our spec maps. Now, you see down here, once we're in our actual spec map folder, we've got all these things that we've drug up here. But you see you've got red, green, blue, red channel metallic, green channel roughness, blue channel clear coat. Don't worry about that stuff at the end right now. We'll talk about it in a second. But just RGB, that's what we're focused on. So we're going to take all of our R's. We're going to drag it in the red folder. We'll take all of our G's, drag it in the green folder, and we'll take all of our B's and we'll drag it in the blue folder. Okay, as you undo these, you'll see there they are. All right, all of our G's, all of our R's, and then all of our B's. They're all right there. Okay, now second thing we're going to do is we're going to go to a website, and I will link this website down in the description. This website is going to be the most helpful thing as you are spec mapping. If you go to Google, if you just want to Google it, you can Google, it's Gabir Motors, so GABIR-MOTORS. And don't go to this one right here where it's home. Go to this one right here, Gabir Motors Spec Map Visualization Tool. This is an unbelievably cool tool that this guy created. Basically, what he has done is you can put in any color you want. So we'll just put in, I think 00000 is black. Yes, it is. Okay. So we'll just do black. You can go in and he will basically tell you for different styles of paint, right? Remember our RGB. This goes with your RGB. So if you want a flat black, which is what we're going for, or a matte black, flat kind of looks chalkboardy on the game. I wouldn't do this. I would go with matte. It's gonna look better, trust me. But anyway, there's your R, there's your G, there's your B. So it's telling you these little values here, 0, 50%, 0, right? But you know, what exactly does that mean to you? Well, we're gonna go back to Photoshop here. And we'll start with the black because that's what I had on. So we will go to any one of our mattes where it's all going to be the same. So you're going to click on it and it's going to pull up this layer style thing. Okay, the only thing that we are going to focus on in here is this one that says color overlay. That's the only thing we're going to pay attention to. Now, once you get in here, you're going to click right here where the color is at. Again, the only thing that we are paying attention to is this little slider. And as you see, when we do this slider, this number right here will move. This number is the only number that we are concerned with. Remember on this website, when we had the 0, 50%, 0, okay, RGB, we are in the red. We're in the red channel metallic area right now. So we want this number right here, this 0, to match right here. So when we opened it, it actually did. So 0, perfect. So we're gonna click OK, click OK. We'll go to the matte paint, color overlay, and we'll do the same thing. 0, perfect. Okay. Now, what you'll notice is right here, this color has changed. Don't freak out. It's okay. We'll be okay. All right. We are going to go down now to close that. We'll go to green. And remember, for matte, we need 50. Right. So now we're going to open our matte logos, color overlay. We're going to go to 50%. Okay, that's what we need. We'll go here to matte, color overlay, 50%. can see that this is kind of giving us what we need. Now, it looks like I have left somebody out of the party here, which is annoying. Where are you at, brother? How did that get in there? Oh, devastating stuff. It's okay. We'll fix it real quick. Let me finish this, and then we'll get back to fixing you. So now we're gonna go to the blue channel clear coat, right? And we're gonna finish our map. Okay. Remember, 0, 50, 0. So now we're in the blue. So now we're on 0. So we're gonna go matte, color overlay, 0, matte, paint, color overlay, 0. Now you'll notice all of that stuff that we want matte has turned to this green color. Okay, to the point where you can't actually see these logos anymore. It's okay, right? The first time that I did this, I thought that I turned my entire paint scheme green and it looked like, you know, St. Patrick's Day or something. This isn't that. You didn't do that, okay? Because if you click this eyeball here off your spec map, your paint is exactly the same. Nothing has changed. Okay, nothing has changed with your paint. The only thing that has changed is you have told your paint file that you want this black. Anything that's this black, anything you want to be this matte color, okay, is going to be that type of paint. Okay, now back to this guy, because I've kind of messed this up a little bit. So if this part is going to confuse you, skip ahead. All I'm going to do is I'm going to move this from one folder to another. So we're going to go back in the Chrome logos folder here. We're going to find press our logo black and gold. We're going to drag it to matte logos folder. And this goes back to the layering thing that I was telling you about earlier. Sometimes, you know, this happens. There's not much you can do about it. But it's an easy fix. And then we just gotta do it one more time here. Where is it? This one. And matte logos. Okay. Now it matches everything else. Now we're back where we want to be. All right. So we've done our matte logos. Now we're gonna bring our Gabir motors back over here. I'm gonna do the number that the color code that I use for the gold, and I want this to be chrome. Right, so we're gonna get this chrome built. Typically what I will do is I will actually go 100 and I will go 10% just to get a little bit of metallic on there, because I think that's kind of a cool look. You do not have to stick with this. You can make this whatever you want. If you want to make it, you know, 140, if you think that's a cool look, do it. You do not have to do what this says. You can kind of move these sliders and it will just kind of tell you, you know, what it thinks it's going to look like. But I usually do 110 because I kind of like that chrome look. So we'll go back over here, we'll go to our chrome logos, and we're just going to do the same thing that we did with the matte logos, but we're going to use those numbers. So we're going to go to color overlay, we're going to slide this all the way up to 100. That's the number that we're looking for. We'll go down to here, color overlay, 100. And the reason I do these back to back is they will stay at the same number when you click them. So you can do the chromes a little bit quicker and the mattes a little bit quicker if you keep them together, if that's what you decide you want to do. So I'm going to slide this guy now Now that we're in the green, down to 10, because I wanted it 10. And it's gonna make it this like pink color, right? That's okay. Again, it's just saying to the game, this is what we want it to look like. It's not changing the actual color on the car. And then we'll do 0 for the last one. And that will give us that bright red that we're looking for. Color overlay, 0, perfecto. All right, then the last one for me is I will do white. So white is and then we'll go pearl, because I like that pearl look. So it's going to be 60, 20, 0. So that's what we're looking for on this one. So we'll go back up to our red, find our pearl folder, color overlay, we'll go 60, green is 20, and then we'll go to blue, color overlay, it will be 0. All right, perfect. Now, again, we have told the game now, this is what colors we want the paint to look like, okay? This is what our car looks like. This is what we've told iRacing we want the paint to look like, okay? These are the colors we want. This is how we want the paint to look. These are the colors we want. This is how we want the paint to look, okay? So don't freak out, again, that this is what we look like now. We're okay. So what we're gonna do is we are going to go File, Save, same as we did earlier. We're going to go File, Save a Copy, same as we did earlier. We're going to go Targa. We're going to go back in here to our iRacing folder, Paint. We're going to go Porsche 992 GT3. Now, what we're going to do this time is instead of just putting car, we're going to put car-spec. Okay, car-spec, and then our member ID. Click Save. Again, we want 24 bits per pixel so that our color will show up the way that we want it to. Right, we won't have any issues. We'll minimize this. We'll go back to iRacing. Here, there is our paint. Click off on something, and now when we go back, we've got what we want. You can see that as we click around here, you can see that that paint has matted itself. You can see that on the gold bits, right, that it's kind of got that shimmer to it. It's a little bit harder to see now, but once we load it up into a session, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about a little bit more. So let's do that. Let's load it up into a test session. We'll take a couple pictures here, and we'll show you what the finished product is. All right, so we've loaded our car up in a test session here, and you can kind of see as we're driving away, right, that the chrome and the matte and the pearl really picks itself out once you're actually in the session. If we can kind of stop here, zoom in a little bit, get our camera tool. Right, you can really see, everybody does a triple screen. All right, you can really see how all this stuff really gets picked up, right? You can see the chrome kind of doing its thing. You get the black, you can really tell how matted out it is. The logos over here, right, that we decided that we wanted to make chrome, you can actually see the shimmer down here. You can see the paint on the white, even though it's white, it's pearl, it's got a little bit of a tint to it. this is pretty much exactly what I was going for. And again, it's not that hard to do this stuff in iRacing. They make it really easy. The game makes it really easy on you as long as you kind of know what you're doing, what you're looking for, all of that. And some of it's not going to look exactly how you want until you load it up, right? Like, for example, this right here, the Russell Sim Racing part, I can't really, this part right here, this didn't come out the way that I wanted. Okay, I wanted this to be matte, and I wanted this to pop a little bit with some chrome. It didn't work. Sometimes the colors don't, for whatever reason, don't do what you hope they're gonna do. Maybe you have to do something a little bit different. Maybe I'll have to make this white. I don't know, I might make some changes to it, but it does kind of give you just a basic idea of, you know, what we're looking for as we try and paint the car, right? And again, you can do whatever you want. This is just the color scheme that I like. I enjoy the, you know, the gold, the flat, and the pearl. You might like something a little bit different when you paint your cars, and that's cool too. So we're going to put a stop to this here. Just wanted to get in the test session just because I felt like it'd be a little bit easier to see it. You can really see it here. That chrome really pops on the bottom, and you can kind of see how the paint's matted out here. I think that looks really cool. All right, so we're gonna quit. We'll get out of the test session. Now, what we need to do is we actually need to load this boy up into training paints, and here's how we are going to do that. So we'll close out iRacing. We're going to go to upload, select a paint file, and everything we need is right here. So when you pull up your paint file, you're going to have your car, and you're going to have your car spec. You're going to select your car. So don't worry about the spec now, because it's going to give you a different file that we're going to load here in a second. So you're going to click open. I will put, you can either do just me or the community, doesn't really matter. I'll do just me for now, because I'm going to make some changes, like I said. And then you're going to do add spec map or decal layer. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to where it says select spec map, and iRacing is actually giving you this little thing, this car spec .mip. This is the file that you need. So once you load that thing up, go down, select your vehicle. They're in alphabetical order, just so you know. If you're going to use the Porsche, just as a heads up, don't get confused on the Cup and the GT3. I've done that before. You're gonna have an interesting looking car because the files don't match exactly right. But this one's the 911 GT3, so we'll do that. Sim stamp number, upload to my paints, and then it will take you directly to that car on training paints, and it will just show you your Photoshop profile. So I hope this was helpful, guys. Again, when I got into it and I started doing spec mapping, it was really confusing. Once the colors start changing, it kind of freaked me out a bit, made me feel like I ruined it. But again, you basically have to think of it as two different files. You've got the file that looks like this, right, that just kind of tells the game the color that you want, and then you've got your spec map file that basically tells you how you want the paint to look. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, leave a like. Again, as with my other video that I did, part 1. If you have any questions, or if there's anything I missed or anything you're confused about, drop it in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, or maybe even do another video on some things that I possibly could have missed. But I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the week. Hope you guys get out there, start painting some cars, and I can see some cool ones on the track next to me. We will catch you guys on the next one. See you.